Hello, hello, hello. Wherever you are on this unique planet called Earth, I hope you are having a insightful day wherever you are located this day, evening, or night. Now, I'm just going to be talking off the top of my head, so I don't have no hardcore facts. My topic for the day is, don't sci-fi movies, they seem to love the desert planet. Yes, movie after movie love the desert world. I just now finished watching the last episode of the new Star Trek series Picard when they landed on the android planet. If you check out where they landed in the desert. Now, I know that's a nice sight for a crash landing of any spaceship. You don't want to have it crash in a city. It doesn't look well on TV. If it lands in a populated area, a crash landing would surely result in massive death. So from that point of view, okay, if you don't want to have a lot of people getting slaughtered, disintegrated, vaporized by the hot ship landing on their head, okay, I guess it's best to put crash land in the safe desert. If the ship explode in the desert like it has in so many sci-fi movies, who was going to kill? At least a higher life form. It will kill the desert creatures on Earth. The desert creatures are the scorpions, the snakes, various lizards, some type of birds. But hey, on Earth, if you crash in the desert, your fatality count is very low. But like I said, most movies, they love their desert world. And I can give some examples just from Star Wars. When we first met Luke Skywalker, he's on that desert planet. Correct me if I'm wrong, was the desert planet called Tatooine or whatever. A desert world. The first episode of Star Trek Discovery, which I think came out in 2018, we meet the officer and the captain scrounging around, surviving on a desert planet. Yes, often. Well, hold up. When they start talking and getting in great detail, then we see the people usually in a populated grassy area. But when they first hit the planet or get stranded on the planet, they usually land in the desert area. For instance, if you ever notice, Star Trek, the first series with William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, didn't it always seem the background was always on a rocky planet? Rocky planet. I know back then they didn't have a lot of money for fantastic special effects, so they say the best background is a rocky, wasted planet. But even in the most recent, the first Star Trek series, the first Star Trek movie, I think it was called Nemesis or something, when they were trying to get into the Nexus. All of that all of that scenario where the main fighting occur, hey, it didn't include a habitated area. Picard and his nemesis was fighting on a desert soil with the regular colored, brown colored rocks. Go check that Star Trek Nemesis. Now, if I'm wrong about the movie title, please correct me in the comment section. But like I said earlier, I'm just recording this on my tablet while I'm laying in bed 3:54 in the morning. So I ain't do no heavy research. Also, I am a I love to watch the old Twilight Zone movies and Outer Limit movies. You know, the movies that was in black and white. If you ever see them, or the actor, on the world always some desert looking rocky planet. Again, as I stated earlier, back in the 60s, they didn't have no big budgets to make it look a sophisticated background. So they say, hey, let's just throw these bastards in a desert area and make our movie. You see? I'm going to go right down the timeline. Now, I forgot the name of that movie that involved time travel. I can't say, but it was in an Egyptian area. I forgot the name of the movie. It may come to me, but it involved time travel through a personalized wormhole. That movie, it was in ancient Egypt, and from the look of it, ancient Egypt, or whatever Egypt was, I don't know if it was an Egyptian society, but it looked like it was an Egyptian-based society. But the world was rocky, sandy, nothing pretty. Now they had a lot of high-tech society, but it still was based on a rocky, sandy background. So I'm just taking you down a little bit of memory lane about where most of these movie backgrounds always occur. They always seem, I better say, they have a love affair. Yeah, that's the best word I can say. They have a love affair for the desert background. And of course, we know why. The desert background saves money. Now, the only movie that I can recollect that the whole movie was not in a desert background is the last Star Wars movie. I think it was called Return of the Jedi. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments section. I think it was Return of the Jedi, where Luke Skywalker helped Darth Vader redeem himself by quote unquote killing the Emperor. But on that world, the fight scene was on that forestry planet with the little Ewoks creatures. Other than that little Ewok scene, that grassy background. But hey, that still was almost like a desert because it was all green. So, the movie studio, they still was saving a lot of money because it was not in a high class technological background. If we're not going to use the desert, if they don't like the desert, then they just say, hey, make the scene in a forestry area. Put a lot of trees around. Put a lot of grass around. We'll call it another planet. That way, they still save. Yeah, the movie was, it's called Stargate. The Stargate movies occurred in that Egyptian-looking background with the pyramids there. You walk through the Stargate, and the background looked like it was in a desert area. Desert, desert, desert. So, if you like my little discussion about the favorite scenery for the vast majority of sci-fi movies, if it's not in space, they land on a planet with a bunch of deserts. Or if it's not in space, rarely do they land on a planet with a forestry background. Like the movie that occurred in 2018, Lost in Space. But Lost in Space, when it first, I think the first episode, it was not on a rocky background. It did not occur in the forestry, but it still occurred in a simple scene. And a simple scene was an icy planet. So we got, my good people, when they making a movie like the Star Wars movie, Empire Strikes Back. It wasn't a desert, it wasn't a forest, but the main setting was still simple. It was that icy world. So that's it, my good people. Like I said, if you enjoy my observation of where most movies set scenery take place, either on a barren, rocky, desert, wasteland, or in a forest area, and you don't see much life in a forest area, all you see is trees and grass for the most part, like in the Star Wars movie on that planet. I didn't see no animals running around. I didn't see no birds flying in the air. They kept the scene simple. So it's either a desert, a icy world, a watery world. And I said the desert. But the scene basically is simple. Simple. Rarely do they ever land on a populated world with people walking out, or a village with people walking all around. It's always simple. So if you enjoy this little discussion about most sci-fi background, the big four, watery world, desert, ice planet, grassy background, leave a thumbs up. And if you have any insights on how most movies have that background, leave a comment. Give me your observation. If you would like to subscribe to hear about more content that I find interesting, subscribe. Until the next time, my good people, peace.